I Have a Dream, a speech by Martin Luther King. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down the history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five scores years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. The momentous decree is the greatest beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been sheared in the flames of whitening injustice. It came, it came as a joyous daybreak to the end of the long night in their captivity, but 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. The 100 year later, the life of Negro is still badly gripped by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro island lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of ocean and material prosperity. 100 years later, Negro still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself exiled in his own land. So, we have come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In the sense, we have come to our nation capital to cash a check. We, when an architect of a republican wrote the magnificent word of Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, these were signing promissory note to which every American was to fell here. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men, as a white man, would be granted an unalienable rights of the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protest to disintegrate into physical violence. The marvelous new militancy which has engulfed in the Negro community must not lead us to distrust all the white people, for many of our white brothers, as evidenced by the presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny. We cannot walk alone, and as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of unspeakable horrors of police brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies, heavy with fatigue of travel, cannot gain loading in the motels of the highway and the hotels of the city. We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their adulthood and robbed out of dignity by signs taking for whites only. We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and the Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, no, we are not satisfied and will be not satisfied until justice roll down the water and the righteous like a mighty stream. I say you today, my friends, through even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It's a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of his creed. We hold this truth and be self evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, son of the farmer slaves and the son of the farmer slave owner will be able to sit down together and the table at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day when the state of Mississippi, a state of sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in the nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin but by the content of their character. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, with the vicious racist, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interpoison with nullification, one day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. This will be the day when the God's children will be able to sing with the new meaning, my country, this of the sweet land of liberty, and of thee I sing, land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountain side let's freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of the new Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the Quebec slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from the Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from the Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from the hill and the molehill of Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. When we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every city and every hamlet, from every state to every city, we'll be able to speed up the day when all of the godchildren, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing the words of the old Negro spiritual: free at last, great Gloria mighty, we are free at last. Thank you.